Hi everybody, welcome to this free video playthrough for the Asia Champions Tournament in Expert Division here on the channel. Please give me a thumb up if you don't mind and make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. This video uses the tournament wins for the qualifying round. However, if you are watching this later on in the week when you're playing opening and weekend round, obviously you will face slightly different wind directions, but hopefully this video will still give you some help and ideas on routes and suggestions of how to play the holes. But obviously wind directions here are for the qualifying round specifically. Timestamps in the description down below. Good luck everybody. Here we go. Starting with the par 4 here, we're going to play with APOC and then we're going to use the Thorn with a Kingmaker ball. APOC 5 and 6, red ring touching the rough on the right at the top of plus 6 yards. Then we add spin, 5.8 top spin, 3 bars side spin to the right. If you've got APOC 4, you will have 20% of the red ring overlapping the rough on the right, and you will be at the top of plus 12 yards. APOC 7, you will have 80% of the blue ring overlapping the rough. Adjust max plus 10 power 3 settings, and then we're going to go with a ball and a half of curl to the right, and just before the circle drops as our overpower reference. Hitting the ball perfect here, and we're going to bounce comfortably between the rough and the sand there, not risking either, and rolling out to a drive distance there down the slope of approximately 370 yards. Second shot with the Thorn, blue ring pin check, so get the pin in the middle of the blue ring on top of the bullseye obviously, so above the bullseye, blue ring pin check, and then we set up with the bullseye in the middle of the fringe and then add backspin only to get the ball guide just to the front of the cup. You'll see I'm just adding a little bit more backspin there and deciding to go with a small gap between the ball guide and the front edge of the cup, so maybe half a cup short in the end is what I do here, but use backspin only. For a +2 blue ring pin check, we're going to play this one 60% on the slider, 10% elevation, and we pull over the bullseye. So make sure you have that ball guide stopping a little bit short because there is some tailwind here which is going to give us an extra push to the hole. It's 2% per yard, so if your blue ring pin check was +3, you'd play 62% slider instead. Bouncing exactly where we aim and hitting the pin and falling for a lovely eagle on this par 4. We're going to play with the Grizzly and a Kingmaker here. We add spin first and then we find our position. We're going to go with 0.9 top spin, and you can see there I've just got a small amount of left spin because it's kind of one visible click. Then I'm going to be at the top of +5 and I want to find the first point where I get that little extra bit of ball guide that takes it over the hump to the fringe. That's where I want to be. Tough position to find. If you have a token available, spend one here just to make sure you're in the right spot. That's the top of +5 with Grizzly 9. It would be the top of +8 with Grizzly 7 and 8. Make sure you get your spins accurate as well to get the correct reference. Max +15 power 3 settings. Use Grizzly 9 numbers regardless of your club level, and we make 2 pulls over the bullseye here. Center the ball and hit perfect, and subject to any wind angle tweaks or wind strength tweaks that you might need to build in yourself, you've got a very good chance at a hole in one. Second bounce in the dip, rolling onto the green and catching that nice mini funnel in. Very tough wind angle here, so we start with the quarterback in NMT position, so no movement target with the quarterback and a power 3 ball. Then we add 5 top spin and 1 left spin. Then we switch to our Apocalypse and Cataclysm or Big Dog bag. Max +0 is the adjustment here, max +0. So make sure you load the hole with the quarterback level 9 or 10 and your Kingmaker ball so that you don't have to do any extra club swapping or have the wrong position with your NMT. So it's NMT, QB, power 3 ball, max +0. If you go into any overpower with APOC 4, you will need to add that on to the shot, but otherwise the base amount of overpower here you can see there is going to be circle drop overpower. So circle drop overpower plus with APOC 4 anything that you adjust into additionally. But this is going to be a very safe layup. We don't want to risk anything else. We want to approach the top left corner of the fairway, Drive distance is going to be around 325 yards. Second shot with the Cataclysm, we are going to add spin first. And here I'm going with half a bar of top spin and 3 bars side spin to the left. Setting up with the bullseye comfortably on the fairway. You can see with my club level, I've got the red ring touching the bunker and the rough at the same time, but obviously if you've got different club levels, you will have different ring references due to different accuracies. This is primarily about getting it onto the green, but if you want to tweak the curl for a better look at the Albatross, then by all means do so. Not using any slider here. With a consistent drive distance, you're always going to be playing this one max plus 10. And then here as a base overpower, again I'm going with circle drop overpower, and then I'm adding inner wall curl to the left. Tweak if needed. If you have a really short drive, you might want to add a bit more overpower on. Obviously you don't want to catch the rough with your first bounce. Little bit more curl there, maybe a bit more top spin. You might be lucky with the Albatross, but if not, a very safe eagle in a tough wind angle. We're going to go with the Titan here for the extra wind push, and we're going to have the inner green ring touching the rough on the right with APOC 5 and 6 at P3 max rest. Then we are adding 5.8 top spin only. Looks like I've got about 6 top spin here. If you do have APOC 6 and above, you could use 6 top spin, but if not, 5.8 should be fine. And we're going to adjust max plus 10. Now, APOC 4, you stretch out 1.7 rings into overpower, and you just have a tiny amount of the inner ring overlapping the rough, but not much at all. Max plus 10, then we take our shot, no push-up with APOC 5 and above, full overpower with a slow needle. APOC 4, you push up 1.7 rings after you adjust. Catching the fairway nicely into the rough and rolling out here, and you want a drive distance in the region of 388 yards. Now, top of the blue ring touching the fringe with the ball guide over the pin gives us our check of plus 2 yards. Then we're finding our position. This is a no spin shot, and I want to have the ball guide there stopping 1 cup short of the hole in line with the pin. Blue ring fringe check for plus 2 gives me 25% on the slider. That's been working nicely for me, and 10% elevation. However, I did measure this 1 rings from min as well, and it worked out at true club distance. So if you get a glitch roll and you roll to a longer drive distance, then play true club distance or rings from min, 1% slider per ring from min. If of course you are within the first kind of 15 to 20 rings, should give you a good chance as well if you can't do the blue ring back fringe check. Centre the ball, hit perfect, and we're falling for the eagle. If you're enjoying the free content and want to help keep it free and support the channel here, head over to patreon.com/BK Golf Clash. Loads of different membership levels, all have the same perks. You get wind charts early, you get elevation sheets, exclusive content as well, episodes of my club guide series up there as well. So plenty to help you out as membership perks if you want to help support the channel. Here we're going to set up with the blue ring touching the rough with our sniper, and before spin the ball guide going through the hole. Once I've found that position, it is time to add spin, and we are going here with a 1.2 back spin and 1 bar side spin to the left. Kingmaker is recommended to keep the wind kind of around or below 8 miles per hour, but you can see 8.3 is dropping nicely, so even in a high wind it wouldn't risk or jeopardize the shot. You just might need to put in an additional tweak. Mid plus 15, power 2 settings, and regardless of your club level, I would like you to use sniper 10 numbers. Centering the ball, hitting perfect. This is middle wind angle as well, so you can tweak from there. Nicely on the fairway, second bounce on the green, catching that nice little root, falling directly at the pin for the hole in 1. Here we're going to set up with the quarterback, blue ring touching the rough on the left at the P3 max rest line. Then we swap to APOC, sniper bag, and we're going with 5.8 top spin, 3 left spin, and we're going to adjust maximum distance with 10% elevation. This is a nasty wind angle, so I'm not trying any heroics here, just getting it nicely down the fairway to set up a minimum distance sniper shot. Then we are going to use overpower, and you can see there it is going to be circle drop, and then I'm adding inner wall curl to the left. So find your circle drop overpower first, and then inner wall left curl. If you have dramatically lower wind, you might want to take a couple of clicks off the overpower, or just go to just before circle drop if you are worried about going into the rough. But it's been fine for me. Drive distance of around 353 yards. Second shot with the Grizzly packed, of course. Find the minimum distance with your sniper, with a ball guide going through the hole, and then add spin as required to get the tip of the ball guide in the right half of the cup. For me, that was just a couple of bars backspin only, but obviously different drive outcomes, you might need to tweak the spin, but always set up with the same method I'm using here. Minimum distance, 5% elevation, and then we're going to make our adjustments. It's going to be one pull over the bullseye only, and this has been dropping very nicely for me. Centering the ball and hitting perfect, might need a tweak or two, of course, but should get you a decent look at the albatross, and worst case scenario, a very safe eagle, even though there's a nasty wind angle off the tee. Going to use the rock here, and we're adding spin first, and we're going to go with a bar and a half of top spin and 3 right spin, and then we're setting up with the ball guide pointing to that little curve in the fairway to the right of the tree that is nestled in the bunker up ahead. So pause the video, get a reference. You're going to be at P3 max rest with the rock level 8, and the top of plus 15 yards if you've got the rock level 9. Adjust maximum distance, 10% elevation, and then we're going to take our shot. No overpower, but we are using outer wall curl to the right, hitting perfect, and this is a very safe drive down the fairway. Just going to fly over the corner of rough there and roll out towards the rough here, but not risking it. Drive distance around 350 yards. Now there's no reference on the second shot, unfortunately, but I find the max line with the thorn, so you can kind of tweak from there if needed. But the drop I have here obviously is working for me. Max backspin is the setup here. We're going for the max backspin shot, and we're having the ball guide, as you can see there, going to the right side of the cup, level with the pin, bouncing on the fringe with the top of the inner green ring touching the fringe green line. Now for my drive here, I'm playing this one 70% slider, 25% elevation. Obviously there's no good reference check, unfortunately, here, which is a shame, but it is a reference drop for you to work from, and you can pull your club up to the max line and compare to my video should you need to make any tweaks. But that's falling nicely there for an eagle. We're going to start with a power 4 ball on this par 3 and find the minimum line with our sniper, pack the Grizzly, blue ring touching the rough on the left. Then I'm swapping to a Kingmaker, and I'm going to add my spin. We are going with a 3.2 backspin, looks like a heavy 3.2, and 3 bars of side spin to the right. We are going to adjust this one mid-distance, 15% elevation, power 3 settings, and we're using sniper 10 numbers, and you will need to do the same regardless of your club level. So make sure you start with your power 4 ball, have it pre-selected to save time, and make sure you've got the Grizzly packed as well. And then here I'm going with circle break curl to the right, so just as many clicks until that circle breaks and you see the 4 triangles formed. That is where you need to be, because that one for me has been helping it very nicely into the hole for a hole in one. We are going to go with a berserker here on this par 5 and the extra mile level 9. Max top spin, 1 bar side spin to the right, and at P5 max rest we're having the ball guide pointing down the middle of the fairway there between the 2 points of rough. You can align it with the bunker up ahead, but I've just been looking at the tip of the ball guide just in the middle of where those 2 bulges of rough come in from the left and right. Extra mile 9, obviously if you've got apox 7 or 8, match the top spin and set up at the top of plus 27 instead. Max plus 10 is the adjustment. No push-up required, but we are going to go full overpower, but the needle is nice and slow, and I'm going here with outer wall curl to the right. So even though we're using extra mile level 9, not the best accurate club in the world, but you've got a minor great left and a minor great right at least. Untested with anything else though, but a very nice slow needle as well. So a decent chance of hitting perfect, approaching the shadow there with a drive distance of approximately 450 yards. Second shot, you need the Guardian. Level 9 is good, but level 8 or 7 would work at a push. We're going to add plenty of backspin here, and that is 8 bars of backspin, 2 bars of right spin, second bounce on the fringe there, and I'm looking with Guardian level 9 to have the red ring touching the rough on the right at P5 max rest. You might need to stretch out or tweak the spin. This really is just to get to green safely, but if you want to tweak this one, we didn't come really very far away from the pin at all, so it is by all means definitely tweakable. Max plus 5 is the adjustment, power 5 settings, and here I'm going with 0.8 ball curl to the right, no overpower, just hit perfect. Like I said, if you want to tweak it, you can do, bouncing where we aim, just a little bit short though, but we've got a very, very safe eagle on this long par 5. Thanks very much for watching this video here on the channel. If it has helped you in any way, please consider sharing it amongst your friends and clanmates in the game. Join us also on Facebook. Head over there, search for BK Golf Clash and join our free group. Loads of members there sharing shots. Free guides are posted, as well as loads of other great Golf Clash resources. So check us out there. You can join in the discussion and also leave feedback on the game in general. Finally, if you wish to help support the channel and keep the content free for everybody, please consider becoming a Patreon member. The link is in the video description down below. Good luck, see you soon, bye for now.